not on a hostile shore under fire, but arriving almost overnight at a quiet, strategic bay in the Philippines. The Pentagon calls it an exercise. The Philippine government calls it a strengthening of mutual defense. But the satellite images, the sheer scale of the assembled firepower, and the nervous silence from neighboring powers tell a different story. Asia is on high alert. This is not a friendly visit. It is a signal. A massive, unmistakable power play in the most contested waters on the planet. And the world is holding its breath to find out who it's aimed at. To understand the magnitude of this move, you must first understand the location. Subic Bay. For decades, it was the jewel of the U.S. Navy's Pacific presence, a colossal deep-water harbor perfectly positioned to project power across Southeast Asia. When it was closed in the 1990s, it left a vacuum. Today, that vacuum matters more than ever. Subic Bay is the gateway to the South China Sea. Controlling this bay means controlling the vital sea lanes, the arteries through which trillions of dollars in global trade flow every year. Its sudden remilitarization, even if officially temporary, is a geopolitical earthquake. The arrival wasn't gradual. It was a surge. A full U.S. carrier strike group, centered on a Ford-class aircraft carrier, materialized off the coast. They were joined by amphibious assault ships, the Wasp and America classes, which began to disgorge wave after wave of U.S. Marines. Overhead, a constant stream of C-17 Globemasters from bases in Guam and Japan roared into the nearby Clark Air Base, unloading equipment, supplies, and special operations forces. The final count stunned observers: 40,000 U.S. Navy and Marine personnel. Let's be clear, 40,000 troops is not an exercise force. That is an invasion-level deployment. Under the framework of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, the Philippine government granted access. But the sheer, overwhelming speed and scale of the American arrival surprised everyone, including, reportedly, officials in Manila. A massive security perimeter was instantly established. Subic Bay, for all intents and purposes, was once again a fortress under American operational control. The official justification came swiftly. Joint statements from the Pentagon and Manila spoke of Balikatan 2.0, an expanded version of their annual mutual defense drills. The stated purpose: humanitarian assistance and disaster relief preparedness. They pointed to the increasingly severe typhoon season as the rationale. But military analysts worldwide immediately raised red flags. The official story didn't add up. Why the unprecedented secrecy leading up to the deployment? Why 40,000 troops for a disaster relief drill? And most telling of all, why the deployment of purely offensive assets? F-35B stealth fighters, AH-1Z Viper attack helicopters, and batteries of high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS. These are not tools for handing out water and blankets. These are tools for war. The theories began to fly. Was this a massive, undeniable show of force aimed directly at Beijing, a blunt warning over its increasingly aggressive actions around Taiwan? Was it a prepositioning of forces for a potential blockade of Chinese assets in the Spratly Islands? Or was it something else entirely, something hidden beneath the cover of a humanitarian exercise? The true target of the signal did not wait long to respond. China reacted with predictable fury. The state-controlled Global Times denounced the American provocation, accusing the U.S. of igniting an arms race and endangering regional stability. But their response wasn't just words. Within hours, the People's Liberation Army Navy plan sortied its own warships, including Type 055 destroyers, to shadow the American carrier group. Chinese J-20 stealth fighters scrambled to monitor the airspace. The South China Sea, already one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints, was instantly transformed into a powder keg. The risk of a miscalculation, an accidental collision, a radar lock-on, a stray warning shot, skyrocketed. So, what are they really doing inside Subic Bay? Commercial satellite imagery, analyzed by independent firms, provides tantalizing clues. We see the rapid construction of what appear to be temporary command and control centers. We see the deployment of advanced and TPY-2 radar systems, the same ones used for high-altitude ballistic missile defense. We see the establishment of advanced satellite communication arrays, linking the base directly to the Pentagon. Unconfirmed reports from local sources speak of elite Navy SEAL and Marine recon units conducting clandestine drills in the rugged jungles surrounding the bay. This doesn't look like a temporary drill. This looks like the establishment of a forward operating base, designed for sustained, long-term, high-intensity operations. The scale suggests preparation not just for a drill, but for a war. The alert in Asia immediately sent shockwaves far beyond the military sphere. Global markets reacted. Shipping insurance rates for vessels transiting the South China Sea tripled overnight. Major international corporations, fearing a blockade or conflict, began rerouting hundreds of cargo vessels via the longer, more expensive routes around Australia. Airlines altered commercial flight paths, adding hours and millions in fuel costs to avoid the new military exercise zone. In a single move, the United States had injected a massive dose of instability into the entire Indo-Pacific economy, forcing the world to choose a side. Diplomats scrambled between Washington, Beijing, Manila, and other regional capitals, desperately trying to de-escalate a situation spiraling out of control. Regardless of the official explanation, the reoccupation of Subic Bay by 40,000 U.S. troops has fundamentally redrawn the geopolitical map of Asia. It is an unambiguous demonstration of American power projection capability. It is a stark message to Beijing that the U.S. is willing and able to rapidly deploy a significant military force directly into its backyard. But it is a high-stakes gamble. It has increased regional tensions to a boiling point and raises a final, deeply unsettling question. 40,000 American troops have arrived. The question is no longer why they came. The question is, do they ever intend to leave?